It's Friday, May 17th, 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We are no doubt witnessing the scariest economy of our lifetime taking place. Dow Jones today breaks 40,000 points. Gold, as I make this video, up $36, 2,422. Silver up $1.80, 31.68. Oil breaks $80 today. When we're watching gold and silver surging like this is a reminder that something is broke, that there is big trouble on the horizon without a doubt. Sid called me today, sent me some pictures actually a few hours ago. He was at work down in a very affluent area of Palm Desert, right off of El Paseo, the Rodeo Drive of the desert. And he sent me some pictures of somebody's Toyota Camry, newer Toyota Camry, being repossessed in the parking lot. So that is what is happening in America as we're being reminded daily of how great the stock market is doing. That 25 to 30,000 people a day are having their cars repossessed. This is the second time in a matter of months that maybe the third time that Sid sent me a picture. Once at a Walmart, two off of El Paseo of people having their cars repossessed. Just a little bit earlier, I was watching Fox Business, had Kevin O'Leary on. He said this: there is a 0% chance of a rate cut this year, a 50% chance of a rate hike next year. So get ready for that, ladies and gentlemen. Inflation is not going away anytime soon, and that is why gold and silver are skyrocketing. They see uncertainty, volatility with these wars, with the economies, the US dollar, and of course, inflation not going away, but going up. Inflation is going to keep going up, ladies and gentlemen. Here's one today from CNBC. 4 lost their lives as severe storms hit Houston area. Hundreds of thousands lose power in Texas. So 4 people lose their lives. I bring this up as a reminder because we talk about this daily, about preparations, to have the extra food put away, the extra water put away, a way to, maybe heat yourself with extra blankets, firewood, candles, whatever you may need. These are things that we should all be thinking about right now. Maybe a generator, and of course, security, because you have got to protect yourself. When hundreds of thousands of people lose power, there's always some bad actors that are going to try to capitalize and take advantage of a very, very bad situation. So you've got to be able to protect yourself. But, food, water, security, these are all things that everybody out there watching this video today should have, because maybe it's not going to be a severe storm. Maybe it's going to be a grid going down. Maybe it could be an earthquake. Maybe it could be some type of man-made disaster. Man-made, natural, it doesn't matter. You need to be prepared. You need to be able to protect yourself and feed yourself. And let's all say a prayer for the people in the Houston area. I was watching some of the videos earlier today of this storm. Just the destruction is incredible, how fast things can happen. And again, they could be natural, they could be man-made. Imagine you wake up one day and the markets are collapsing, or that there's been a major cyber attack on our financial institutions. And of course, there's always the threat of war. So we could wake up to anything. And we cannot control these things. These things are out of our control. But one thing we can control is what we're doing in our own households, in our own personal space. Do we have the food, the water, the security, the training, the skills? These are things that everybody should be working on ASAP. Another one today from the Hell Turner radio show. China dumps largest amount of U.S. Treasuries in history. And this is going to be very inflationary also. Another reason that everybody should probably be buying some gold and silver. That's not financial advice. That's my advice to me, my family, my friends. China offloaded a record $53.3 billion of U.S. Treasuries and agency bonds in the first quarter of 2024. They are concerned with the U.S. committing more theft. Like what we did to Russia, a sovereign nation. If they take Taiwan by force, the U.S. will cancel those bonds and stiff China for the money. So I think that this is definitely a real indicator that they're getting ready to do something. And it's just another example of why the BRICS nations are going to continue to grow and overpower the United States of America and the US dollar. This is why the US dollar is on borrowed time, and the BRICS nations are going to continue to rise. And the world no longer trusts America. We've had multiple countries in the last couple of months just pulling their gold out of US vaults because they don't trust America any longer holding their gold. And certainly nations are watching the leadership here. Again, what we did to Russia. They're getting their money out. They're dumping treasuries. This is very inflationary. And this is a very, very bad direction that America is heading. When we, go around the world, start all these wars, build all these military bases, force everybody, to use the petrodollar, and then when a country does something that we don't like, we just cut them out. We don't allow them to buy oil. They cannot buy food. They cannot use dollars. They cannot get dollars. They're completely shut off, and the world sees this, and this is why the BRICS nations, without a doubt, is going to continue to grow and gain more power and popularity across the world. King World News, man connected in China at the highest level says gold headed to $3,000. And here we go again. China bought gold in record amounts last year, 735 tons. This is physical gold, and you shouldn't be buying anything, whether it's silver or gold, other than physical, and you should be holding it. This is up 23%. The 735 tons that they bought last year is up 23% year over year. And guess what? They're buying more this year. While their holding of U.S. Treasuries fell more than $400 billion back in 2023. So they are bulking up on massive amounts of physical gold. They're mining it, they're buying it, and they're dumping billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars of U.S. Treasuries. Remember, you cannot print gold like fiat currency, and the world is beginning to realize this. They're going to go back to simplicity. They're going to go back to something that's safe, that cannot just be printed off of a printer and have absolutely no worth with nothing backing it. China has imported 367 metric tons of physical gold in the first 2 months of this year alone. That's a 51% increase compared to last year at the same time. What does this mean? What does China know? What do they know is coming? They're not dumb, that's for sure. They have the biggest economy in the world, the biggest military, the biggest banks, the biggest gold holdings, and they're going around the world mining these minerals, these rare earth minerals. They're cutting deals in Saudi Arabia. They're cutting deals with Russia for oil. They're cutting deals in Africa. They're cutting deals all over the world. They are building stuff. They are bulking up on massive amounts of gold. They are now, in my opinion, the biggest, most powerful superpower on planet Earth. You can say what you want about the United States of America. We have not won a war since World War II. We have spent trillions and trillions of dollars on these wars and got nothing out of it. We have a population now that 78% living paycheck to paycheck. Half this country does not even have $500 saved up. And you have China getting more and more powerful. They're going to take Taiwan. Their people are buying gold, and you can say whatever you want about their economy. It's gone down. They have a real estate crisis. But at the end of the day, they're always going to be able to manufacture and build stuff. At the end of the day, they're the ones with 30,000 tons of physical gold. They're the ones that are doing deals all over the world. We don't make anything. We don't manufacture anything. Who knows if we even have any gold at this point? And we have a very weak consumer here that is dependent on credit cards to survive, where half of our population doesn't even have $500 saved up, period. Here's one from the Hedge today. With momentum in its favor, gold has potential to head higher. Of course it does, because we're not anywhere near 2% inflation. Geopolitical tensions are rising, and there is no doubt war coming. And whether we're in that war or not, I don't know. But what's happening in Eastern Europe is not going to stop anytime soon. What's happening in the Middle East is not going to stop anytime soon. And Taiwan is about to erupt. I would think that we're going to see something this summer, by the end of the summer, happening with Taiwan. So be ready for that. Now, here's another one. The latest restaurant chain to signal trouble ahead as it sees fewer diners. That's probably most restaurants, but Cracker Barrel today, stock down 14.4%. Year to date, Cracker Barrel stock is down 36.6%. Thursday, they called for lower profit and sales ahead. Not a good sign. And think about all, like we talked about this yesterday, all the small mom and poppers, and you see what's happening in Cracker Barrel, and yet Dow Jones breaks 40,000. Isn't that wonderful? They want you to just believe everything is okay because the stock market is up. How is this benefiting you? Maybe your 401k is going up, but you haven't gotten the money out of your 401k yet. And when you do, how much are you going to pay? You're going to be paying, 37, 39% on it. We'd be paying 50. They're going to have you paying 80% capital gains on it by then. Who knows? They're going to take so much money from the money that you saved up in your 401k, and then think about where inflation will be at that point too. So you will have absolutely no purchasing power whatsoever. I think it's really time to really think about alternatives to the US dollar. Having something physical, tangible, that is never going to go to zero, because we are witnessing the US dollar continue to fall to zero. I mean, it has lost 98% of its purchasing power. It is a dead man walking. CNBC, as Tesla layoffs continue, here are 600 jobs the company cut in California. So in a filing this week, Tesla said it's cutting about 600 more jobs at its manufacturing and engineering offices in Fremont and Palo Alto, California. Their stock year to date down 29%. I think the EV market is hanging on by a thread, and I think within 2 years we're going to see a handful of these EV makers gone. The free market is speaking, and the free market just doesn't really want EVs. Sure, there's a small percentage that does, but the majority of people do not. They're unreliable, they're expensive, they're time-consuming to charge, the inconvenience. There's just a lot of real big negatives here. And the free markets are speaking, and they should. People don't want this stuff. And think about, would these companies even exist? Would these cars even exist today? Would they even be in business today if it wasn't for all these government subsidies that allowed these companies to stay alive on life support, with all of your taxpayer money going to this? Here's another one. Long-term care facilities are closing and struggling to stay open. It's interesting when I read this article, because we're told, every month this is where the jobs are, in healthcare. But according to a report from the American Care Association and the National Center for Assisted Living, more than 1,000 nursing and long-term care facilities across the country have closed since 2015, leaving 44,459 residents displaced, and those numbers continue to rise. Why are we not taking care of Americans? Somebody please comment down below. Why in the world are we giving all these people from all over the world coming here $5,000 debit cards, educations, hotel rooms, healthcare, food, all this assistance, but we have nearly 45,000 residents displaced, and the numbers are growing. These are, older people, elderly people, people who need healthcare, residents. This is absolutely disgraceful. Comment down below. I just do not understand why we're not taking care of our own people who deserve to be taken care of. And we're sending billions everywhere, but we have all these facilities, 1,000 nursing and long-term care facilities across this country closed, and more closing. Why are none of these billions of dollars going to help these people or these facilities? This is really sickening, in my opinion. The Hedge today, is Buffett's cash hoard a market warning? He's holding $189 $1 billion in cash right now. That is a very, very big war chest, ladies and gentlemen. Buffett cash is looking for a crash. And I don't know how much longer till we begin to see these markets really begin to feel some pain, because we're watching this build up. And markets are just building up, building up, building up. But at some point, the game is going to be over without a doubt. I mean, they are collapsing up, right? I mean, everything is going up. Markets are exhibiting casino-like behavior. Buffett holds high cash levels to take advantage of market dislocations, such as what happened in 2008 with prestigious Goldman Sachs when they came begging for a bailout to avoid bankruptcy. Buffett was glad to oblige with a massive infusion of capital. So he knows something, the Chinese know something, you all know something too. I would say 99% of the people watching this video today are very, very awake and aware of what's going on. We all need to continue to stay on track, continue to prepare, add to the preparations, add to our skill sets, not get complacent. This is the worst time now that you could be complacent. We're getting very, very close to not just an event, but I think a multitude of events taking place. And I don't know what those events are going to be. Black swans, white swans, you name it. Things are coming. I think we're going to see things that we expected to happen, and we're going to see things that we didn't expect to happen. This one I thought was really interesting. Feel free to comment on this. CNBC today, some vacationers expect to carry summer travel debt, report finds. Now, this, again, really makes you shake your head. Almost 45% of Americans plan to take a vacation this summer requiring a flight or hotel stay. They expect to spend $3,594 according to NerdWallet's 2024 summer travel report. As I said earlier, half this country doesn't even have $500 saved up. Let me repeat that. 50% of this country, the United States of America, the people living in it right now, do not have $500 in cash saved up. Yet, we're reading an article here on CNBC that almost 45% of this country plans to take a vacation where they're going to have to get on an airplane or stay at a hotel or do both, and they're going to spend $3,594. So how are they going to pay for this? You guessed it. It's going to be one of their 15 credit cards at 23%. You know, I feel sorry for some people, but I don't feel sorry for a lot of people. And these are the people I don't feel sorry for, because they're going to continue running up debt at 23+%, acting like nothing's wrong. They're going to just continue the party until it's forced to end, until they're maxed out. And then, of course, you know, the banks will be on the hook for this. Then we'll be on the hook for all this debt, because the banks want a bailout going, hey, nobody paid their mortgages back. Nobody's paying their credit cards back. So, you know, we need a bailout. This is absolutely repulsive. This is total ignorance. If you're one of these people who plans to take a vacation, spend $3,500 when you have no money saved up, you are an absolute idiot. You are extremely ignorant, and you're going to land up in a very, very bad place. You really, really are. You probably won't ever have to pay the debt back, but your credit's going to be destroyed, and it's going to be destroyed at the worst possible time. You're going to have destroyed credit during a depression. You won't be able to rent a room. This is really dangerous thinking, people that are doing this, especially if you have kids. You are really putting your family in a vulnerable situation. Another one today, and I'm going to end with this one coming from the Financial Times. Ray Dalio warns U.S. is on the brink, and there is a 1 in 3 chance of civil war. So this country's on the brink, and there's a 1 in 3 chance of civil war. He says there's a 35 to 40% probability of a second civil war. What do you think about that? And what would it look like? Is it, as he says, it'll be where people just move to states that believe in what they believe in. So you can move to a red state, you can move to a blue state. You'll just go where you are accepted or what you believe in. Interesting. It really is. The country is extremely divided. The movie Civil War that came out a couple months ago Terrible movie. I advise, don't waste your money on it. But we're seeing so much division now, politically, socially, economically. The haves, the have-nots. There's so much division, and I don't know how it all plays out. But I would, definitely be preparing for anything. A serious depression, which I think has already begun. Definitely social breakdown in this country, which has been going on for a couple of years, and it's going to intensify as the economy gets worse. Civil war, very, very possible. See, I can't, like some people just go, oh, that could never happen and just rule it out. I'm very open-minded because over the years, seeing what has transpired in this country, I believe anything is possible now. Anything could happen. And you have got to, think like that now and be prepared for anything. Add to the skill sets. Get yourself in the best shape possible. Spend an hour with Coach Lionel this morning and just did a lot of boxing. Brutal workout. You got to, if you go to my video yesterday, what happened in New York, you've got to be able to take care of yourself and protect yourself. We are in a very, very evil period of history, ladies and gentlemen, where people will do very disturbing things, and they're committing very disturbing crimes to very innocent people. And it seems like the evil preys on very innocent, weak people. So don't be a weak person. Be strong, be training, know how to use your body, know how to use your hands, get to the range, know how to use those tools. Time is running out. We're getting very, very close to something. And again, as I said earlier, I don't think it's just going to be one event. I think it's going to be a multitude of events. So, make sure you have the food, the water, the skills, and the mental mindset. Too many people, I mean, we see this every day. People have gotten so soft, so lazy. Their brains are just decaying. They'll believe anything. They can't think for themselves. They need somebody to think for them. They need somebody to tell them what to do. Get strong mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. If you haven't been doing it, you need to start today, immediately. That's the best advice I could give anybody. And of course, walk close to God. This is a very spiritual time now. We are definitely now witnessing spiritual warfare. I've never seen so much evil walking the earth. I've never seen so much evil walking the United States. I mean, there are some really disturbing demonic people on the streets of America now, and you've got to be very, very careful. So I'm going to leave it there today. I don't want to rant. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. And please comment down below on any of your thoughts on this, anything you want to comment on, whether I discussed it or not. Please comment down below. The comments have been absolutely incredible. The comments are a godsend. They are a complete gift. You've woken up so many people. Look, I'm just a person, a guy here with a camera and a microphone sharing some of the news with you and my concerns. But the comments down below really tells the story. And I want to thank everybody for those comments because you continue to wake so many people up. You've saved so many people financially, physically. You're making people think. And that's all we can do right now. We cannot, sit there and go, hey, I'm going to change somebody's life. I'm just working on being the best person I can, stronger, better, walking a better life, eating a little cleaner, working out harder, all that stuff, becoming more financially self-sufficient, getting out of the system. We can't make anybody do anything, but at least with those comments, you're making people think. You're making people think. And I think that that's an incredible attribute. Please keep the comments coming. God bless every one of you. Have a great day. Talk to all of you soon.